Hi there, today I'm interviewing James Hellyer of Accountancy Edge based in Devon. Hi there, James.
Hi, Shane.
James's practice has been featured in this book, The Business Owner's Guide to the UK's Best Accountancy Practices. This book's designed to help business owners just like you find the kind of accountant that'll ultimately serve them in ways many accountants simply don't, by focusing on more than just producing accounts and management information. The accountants who qualify to feature in this book have a proven track record for helping businesses that they work with both measure and improve the numbers that really matter to them, helping those businesses become the most successful and enjoyable to run. James, could you tell us a little bit more about your practice, please?
Okay, I'm a sole practitioner based in Bideford in North Devon. Joined AVN last year because I thought it was something that would help me do things with my accountancy practice that I've always thought they should be doing, but they sort of everywhere I'd worked in the past had said they did these things, but they didn't. They were just words.
And obviously, yes, you've alluded to being an AVN accountant now. What does being an AVN accountant mean for the businesses around you?
Well, what it means is that they have access to an accountant who's genuinely proactive. Now, all accountants say that they're proactive, but it's just a word on their website. And if you don't believe me, go and have a look at one of their websites. That word will be there. But 9 times out of 10, all they actually do is get your records at the end of the year, tell you how much tax you've got to pay, and give you a bill. As an AVN accountant, I have access to the tools, systems, and resources that will let me be genuinely proactive with all my clients and identify ways to help drive their businesses forward rather than always look at the past.
Could you give me a specific example of where you have helped a business owner in some of the ways that you've just described, where maybe a traditional accountant, a conventional accountant may not get so involved?
I mean, one example was last year I signed up as a client, a small cleaning business, a sole practitioner. Again, the outgoing accountant warned me not to do too much work for him because he was massively in arrears on his VAT, PAYE and income tax and could go pop at any time. I had a look at the business and it looked fundamentally sound. It had good commercial client base, should have had a solid cash flow. I spent some time with the business owner and basically identified that the problem was him. He was so busy going out actually doing the cleaning things himself that he wasn't doing other things that would have helped his cash flow, like invoicing people after he'd done the job rather than months after he'd done the job, and then maybe doing credit control so they paid on time. So I sat down with him and sorted him out with a billing system and a credit control system. And now, just over a year down the line, he's on top of all his taxes, he's not in arrears on anything, and his business is trending forward nicely. And I think most other accountants would have been like his old one and would have said there was too much risk with that person and walked away.
So just give me a flavour for the sort of, I suppose, the key aspects there. What are the key, maybe even the key numbers that have changed there for that person, whether it's the amount of hours that he's working or the income?
And basically, previously, the business was showing a profit on paper because once you'd taken into account the work in progress and things, there was a profit there at the end of the day, £30,000 to £40,000. There wasn't any cash in the bank and there were mounting debts. The key thing is he was on VAT surcharges, was something like 12,000 in arrears on his VAT, several thousand on the PAYE. Now he's not going out to work to pay his old debts. He's going out to make money that he can actually take out of the business and use for things that he'll enjoy.
James, why is it that you go that extra mile for your clients?
Well, fundamentally, I think that being an accountant is about rather more than just doing people's accounts and tax returns. They're things that people have to do rather than things they want to do. And the way to look at them is being able to do them is a skill, but just doing that's the compliance side. What you're really looking at is that what the skills and knowledge you have working on that are things that you can apply to help change the numbers within that business. And that's really what an accountant's life is about. It's about, or should be about, it's about change. You change people's businesses, you can change their cash flows, you can help change their lives. I mean, as an example, I was running a benchmark review with a client the other day where we were looking at their profits and their gross margin. And I identified that with some small changes to their pricing, they could change their profitability between, at the most conservative estimate, £8,000 a year, and at the most optimistic, something like £180,000 a year.
Wow. Yeah.
And even if you went for the most conservative, over a 20-year period, it still added up to almost £200,000. And that's a lot of extra money, whether in one go or over several years, to put in someone's pocket. And that could make a big difference to them, their family, and the communities they're in. And it's being able to help people get from where they are to where they want to be that I think is the real thing of being an accountant.
I completely agree, James. Yeah. What are the kind of clients that you prefer to work with, James?
I mean, I like to work with entrepreneurial business owners, people who want to grow their business, have an idea of where they'd like to be, but maybe don't know how to get there, and would like an accountant who they can work closely with to sort of help them find the way on that journey. What I don't want to work with are another sort of client who are the people who turn up at the last minute, say on the 31st of January with a carrier bag of screwed up receipts and expect me to miracle up a set of accounts, a tax return and a zero tax bill in the space of 5 minutes.
Yeah, well, that certainly makes sense. So if I was, if I fit that description of more the ideal kind of client for you, James, what would be the best course of action for me to take right now?
Well, I'd say the first thing to do is pick up the phone or get up your email client, contact me, get in touch, and I will offer you a free, no obligations meeting in which I will provide a benchmark review of your business with a traffic light report at the end of it to show you where your business is doing well, where you're average, and where you're in need of improvement, so that you can see how you're doing compared to other people and what changes you could make to set you on the road to further success.
And that's a no obligation conversation, so it sounds to me like it's a no-brainer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you very much for that, James. That sounds like a really phenomenal practice that you've got there, and it's making a real difference to people's lives, isn't it, as well as their businesses. So
Yes.
Outstanding. And just as an aside, by the way, in addition to featuring in this book, I noticed that you also feature in the world's most inspiring accountants as well, don't you, James? Which is
Yes.
just a phenomenal accomplishment. So yeah, that's fantastic. Anyway, I'm sure I've taken enough of your time, James. I really appreciate the time for this interview, and I wish you well. All the best.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Cheers, Shane.
Thank you for listening to I'm Shane Lucas. I'm Managing Director of AVN, and I'm interviewing the UK's best accountancy practices because I believe business owners out there, business owners like you, believe much better than you're currently getting from your accountant. So look up these accountants. Certainly make contact with James Hellyer. He's a great accountant and he'll make a real difference to your business. All the best. Bye-bye.